Welcome back, Pokemon trainers, and greetings, fellow Marvel fans and Disney+ers. Professor Chaz here, the lab coat's on back order, and happy Loki Day, everybody. This is it, the big finale of the Loki series. I guess I should say the Loki series Season 1, because although I've heard some people say it's rumors, some people say it's confirmed, I don't know. There's talk of a second season, which would be cool. I'm not sure about all that, but let's just say this is the finale that we've been building to for the past 5 episodes. Episode number 6, entitled For All Time, Always, is now streaming on Disney+. So we're going to watch it here. Well, you'll be seeing some clips here and there of me watching it. If you want to watch this for yourself, there's a link in the description to the Loki Watch page over on Disney+. Head on over there, check this out for yourself. If you do not have a Disney+ subscription, get it, because you got so much content to look forward to on there, especially awesome stuff like Loki. So, last episode, we did see that Loki and Sylvie had enchanted Alioth, the big smoke cloud monster beast, and it revealed a floating castle in time and space, where the leader, the creator of the TVA, might just be waiting. Now, I believe in the last episode I did say my theory, just based on, wordplay and puns, could be that Casey, the unassuming desk dude that wasn't a fish back in episode 1 and 2, could be something to do with this, because of course this is leading to Kang the Conqueror from the comics. KC of Kang Conqueror, Casey. Possible. At this point though, I'm leaning more towards, I feel the theming of the show and just how things have been going and what we've learned about characters, I'm now on the side that Loki is the one that has caused all this. Now, my question about both of those, as much as we know Loki, and from what I would assume about Kang the Conqueror, because again I don't know too much about the actual comic counterparts, would they actually have wanted to create a sacred timeline and just sit back in the shadows? I feel like both of them would want to be more in the limelight, getting acknowledgement and credit for what they've done. So I feel also that Kang the Conqueror, from what people say, is a very important character. I don't think they would introduce him at the end of a series like this. This might lead into him showing up, but I don't think he would just be the shadowy mastermind sitting at the end of time just waiting for things to play out. And so what do I want to happen from this episode? Well, I do want to see this lead into the potential of the multiverse, that, of course, Multiverse of Madness, the second Doctor Strange movie, could lead from. I do want to see, I really want to see Loki, Sylvie, and Mobius jump into the main MCU timeline at this point. And I say main, meaning what we followed this whole time. I kind of want the multiverse branch off to be like the What If series coming out soon. I want the movies to follow one timeline, because it's just, for me, it just makes more sense to stick with who we've had, who we've built up with, all of our characters. Captain America, Iron Man, Black Widow, they're gone now. But everyone else who has worked with them are continuing. I want Loki, Sylvie, and Mobius to join them. It'd be so fun. Not that I think Mobius could do much. He's no powers that we know of. But anyway, I kind of want that all to happen. And I would love it if... Now, people had said when classic Loki was giving his monologue of his Nexus event in the last episode, he said how he made an illusion of himself versus Thanos that was so real. Even Thanos, when he crushed Loki's neck, that was a projection. But Thanos believed that it was Loki because it was so real. And then, the real classic Loki hid as a piece of debris on the ship. When it blew up, he floated away. I feel like people might be right in that they're theorizing Loki now has that idea in his head. So he may, if he gets a second chance at the Thanos encounter, he may try that. And we could keep Loki in the main series. So, either to have our Loki variant somehow take the place of the original Loki when he's using the Tesseract, and then go through the rest of his life with the knowledge of what happened up to the point of him dying. If that happens, I would like to see him somehow manage to do the same thing for his mother, Frigga, as well. Make a projection of her, get her to safety, so that when the Dark Elves attack and stab her, it's actually just a projection. Because I would feel bad if he does that to save himself, but watching his mother be killed by the Dark Elves that he himself unintentionally led to her showed a big impact on Loki. So I would like to see him somehow save her and himself. That's what I would like to see happen. What do I think is really going to happen? Well, in the last episode, Kid Loki conjured up a short sword for Loki, and then he took it. And what's funny, when he made it, he says, "Loki, you're going to need this on your journey." And Loki really didn't do much with it. You know, he made the scabbard, he put it away, and then he just flared it on fire to Ian Malcolm Goliath away from Sylvie. But the actual sword itself didn't really do much. I feel like Loki could have done like the fireworks if he wanted to really lure Goliath away. So I think the dagger may play more of a part in this episode, which scares me because remember in episode 3 he made up that metaphor that love is like a dagger. And as we know, it seems like love is definitely something they're building up between Sylvie and Loki. I feel the dagger may play a part in not both of our characters making it out of this episode intact. I say that because in the last episode, Loki even asked Sylvie, so after the TVA is gone, what are you going to do? And she says, I don't know. So I don't know if Sylvie will make it past this. But, you know, stories can be made, new stories can come up along the way, so I guess anything can happen. What else do I think is about to happen here? I guess that's about it. Let's get into this episode right now. I want to see how this all ends up. This is the second shortest episode of the series, by the way, but we're not going to say that's a bad thing because it's going to be exciting, it's going to be fun. We're going to hit play now. So they're talking about timekeepers once again. He's looking at that pen. We might see where the pen comes from. I will say, too, as people have said, it's cool that like Hunter B-15 started as just like this kind of anonymous troop of the TVA, but she became one of the easiest to convince to join. I mean, I guess having all the memories unlocked helps. I want to say, too, it just showed Miss Minutes when the TV agents came in. Miss Minutes disappeared. Also, when Loki's trying to bat her with the jet ski magazine, she's dodging. So it's like, she's not just a projection. I think Miss Minutes, that's her actual physical form, because why would she try to avoid damage, you know? What I want to see is Loki interacting with all of the new Avengers, because very few people even have met our Loki, you know?
If not love, persevere.
Where are we going to? It's like a wormhole now. This is the time stream. This is the sacred timeline. Okay. And here we see that floating chunk of rock with the castle that Sylvie saw in her vision. So again, we see him with the short sword sheath. I like how it's not the same music at the intro. This is the more ominous opening, because this is the big finale, of course. You can almost hear the clock still, can't you? And she seems scared to kick the door in. So yes, I feel like with all this Loki build-up, the big bad has to be a Loki. We will find out. What if we don't? What if... It's Miss Minutes.
And he controls all. At the end, it is only he who remains. And
That's
he
boring.
wants to
That's
offer
dull.
you a deal. How would you like?
They're going to offer him a world that he won. Yeah.
Not just there. You can kill Thanos. You want the Infinity Gauntlet? Yours.
That won't disrupt the timeline.
No
Sure.
problem.
Both of us. Together on the timeline.
Now that's what I want, but I feel they're not going for it.
But he could make everything exactly the way you've always wanted.
What if they say yes, episode ends here? It's like 45 minutes of credits.
This isn't what I asked for.
I know,
Who created
but he
TVA?
thinks this will be more useful.
Who?
Happy reading.
Miss Minutes is sinister. Could you imagine having Clip It tell you, looks like you meant to spell this word, but can I offer this sentence as a suggestion? Now, I think we do at least have one action set piece in this, because there was a clip in the promo that shows Sylvie doing like a handstand round kick thing. I don't know. But I imagine we'll be seeing some fighting. whoever he who remains is, yeah. First of all, he may not be alive. Also, he doesn't dust. Not everywhere. I'm not complaining. I don't dust everywhere or anywhere myself. It's a big problem.
Come on, let's talk. In my office.
Well, as many of the villains of Marvel tend to be, he seems pretty
Not what you
sociable.
were expecting, hmm?
So if he has Ultra Instinct, he's going to be tough to take out. See, I don't know the actor who's going to play Kang in Quantumania, so this may actually be him, just not mentioned until now. So if it is, everyone already knows. Kang!
Well, you're not going to be happy to see me.
Now that we know your secret.
Okay, the pen. What's the pen thing? This must be where Ravonna comes from, I guess.
Stand down, B-50.
What the hell is going on here?
So there is Ravonna, her original
Who are
form.
And what the hell are you doing in my school?
You can't kill me because I already know what's going to happen. See?
So even the future is written at this point.
Pilot's ready.
Paved the road. You just walked down it.
So as we know, they want free will. This has
And I
to
have the rest.
be annoying to hear.
Right here.
You know what would happen if we didn't prune the timeline?
What?
Chaos. Death.
Free will?
Free will?
Free
Only
will is what
one
this all comes
person
down
has
to.
free will.
I've been dubbed many names by many people. A ruler, a conqueror, he who remains, a jerk. There were universes stacked.
Like his little reaction. Ah.
At the same time, the others.
So is the multiverse war started by Kang, and this is the one Kang that won and kept it, so he's the only one.
So, this is almost the end, ladies and gentlemen, of everything and everyone.
And then the
So just get
time
rid of all
Kings
the-
came along and saved us all.
I'll get rid of all the Kangs. No war. So again, you're the reason you had to do this. See, what he's saying makes total sense, but you're leading to Loki dying. He's not gonna accept that.
Stifling order.
Or you're a liar.
Or I'm a liar.
Possible. I kind of believe him. There's not a lot of reaction from me, but this is a lot to take in and process and try to believe, because again, maybe this isn't all true. He likes thunder too. I like thunder. Gravity works here now, or still. So now they can kill him. Is what I'm hearing.
But now I have no idea. No idea how the rest of this is going to go.
What? Why is it suddenly branching now?
I'm being candid.
It must feel so weird to not know what's about to happen next. That'd give you a lot of anxiety after knowing everything, right?
Remove the dictator and what fills the void.
Like I said, that there is a point.
After all this time. Sure, why not?
You've known each other for a few days, man.
Evil Loki's master plan comes together.
Wait, she got his magics now? Because she could never do that before, right? That was the scene right there when she does that handstand kick. Of course, they take Loki out of it.
I just want
Just-
you to be okay.
I wonder how many people on the internet are, their minds are exploding right now. talked to me back in episode 3, I would have been one of them. Now I think it's fine. Did she have a temp pad? She gave it to Mobius, didn't she? Oh, that thing is a temp pad. She didn't stab all the way through. Didn't have that sound effect. Or maybe she did. Usually it sounds worse than that, doesn't it? Okay, so he's gone. Now, is he right about multiples of him coming back? Stronger and more evil-er? Well, that'll be an interesting what-if scenario. So, of course, we know this is going to lead into the Multiverse of Madness, because now the multiverse is definitely happening. Yep, everything's gone past red line. I can imagine that they were actually sending the Minutemen to try to stop all those branches, but there was just too many to... The TVA did not have enough people to keep all of that from happening. I mean, there is the potential he could prune himself, and he has the enchantment. Would he have the power to enchant Alioth himself? He's still wearing the same outfit from episode 2.
Take it easy. You're Nails, right? What division are
What?
you from?
What are you talking about?
Who are you? What's your name?
Boots on the ground now, archives.
What?
Who are you?
So this is a different timeline? Where they knew it wasn't Timekeepers. Huh. So Sylvie accidentally sent him into... Okay, he went into a different timeline, I guess. I'm gonna let the credits play through. We might see some post-credit scenes. But, so... Although I can't see your comments now. Let me know in the comments. Was that the actor who will be playing Kang the Conqueror? Because like he said, he even said, I've gone by many names, jerk. But he said Conqueror was one of them. So does that mean... that mean Loki lost his buddy? So the Mobius he's with here is not the one that... you know, they hugged on, or hugged in the void. That's sad. So I guess that would mean, yeah, the temp pads might be kind of garbage at this point, because if you can't control what timeline you're going to, excuse me, I guess maybe because there's so many branches it affects the targeting, I guess. So that was Kang, definitely. Okay. See, so it's all been cast now. The dies have been cast, and people have said, I believe Kang the Conqueror is like, is he, let's say, bigger villain-wise than Thanos? I feel like he might be. You know what I'd like to see is a post-credit scene. There is a season 2. Nice. And the epic score. So, I'd say that is definite confirmation now. The show itself told us there's a season 2. Awesome. But yeah, so, like, what I'd like to see is... I think it's happened in the comics before. What if Thanos comes back as a variant, of course, to help fight Kang? Now, again, I don't know if that specifically happened in the comics, but I know there's been times in the past where Thanos has worked with the Avengers. I think he was the leader of the Avengers at one point in some timeline. Alright, very cool. But, as I say, I hope that the branching timelines, that's more side story, say like the What If series, or the only interaction we have is a main timeline movie, like say Doctor Strange 2, where they interact with the multiverse. But I've always found it's hard. Like, the reason I don't really read comics these days is because there's so many different continuities. I never really know which one to follow, because sometimes one of them just like, okay, so this one's done. I like the continuing ongoing story, so my hope is that rolling forward we keep that main continuity with the occasional side stories. You know what, I just realized all of these branches could mean like all the video games of Marvel could now be considered canon, right? Like even way back, like say in the NES, like the old X-Men for Nintendo, that could technically be an official timeline now in the MCU. So I believe there was an interview with Tom Hiddleston. He said Loki is, like the end of the series, Loki is going to set up the big things for the MCU rolling forward. And like I said, this does open up infinite possibilities of what could happen next. So, well, in the end, Casey had nothing to do with it. I still would have loved if, like, when those doors opening, you see Kang sitting there. What if it was just Casey's like, hi guys? Or find out, you know, my boss is waiting for you, and have, like, say, Casey was there as a plant to gain advanced knowledge for Kang. But then I guess he had the advanced knowledge he needed because he's seen all of time. It was so weird when he's like, okay, now I don't know what's going to happen next. And, like, why do the timelines just immediately start branching then? So I guess that's misleading. So when Renslayer said everything in the void comes to, it gets gathered together and simply stops. I guess maybe the void is a stop, but then beyond that, there's a new start? I don't know. So, what do you think will happen next? So another thing we didn't get, Loki is not... I was about to say Loki's not in the main timeline, obviously, because Mobius doesn't know who he is. But would you consider the original TVA that we saw these first 5-6 episodes, would you even call that the main timeline? Because it's been removed from time. So it's weird to think that now that our time stream is like branching out and there's all these various things, but the TVA has been removed from that, are there multiple timelines of the TVA? It seems like there are, for Loki to have been sent to one that acknowledges that Kang was the only leader and Mobius has never met Loki. So I feel that means that the TVA was part of the timeline all along. I'm not sure what implications that may have, but another thing we didn't get to see, Sylvie is not really trapped away. She has that disc, that tempad type thing, which I'm assuming doesn't stop working just because Kang is dead. You know, I feel like she could probably still use it, but she probably wants to stay where she's at. Because, like I said, her story of destroying the TVA is basically over. I thought that was interesting, too, though, when B-15 was looking at the branches. She says, well, does he not want us to, you know, whatever? I'm like, why is she referring to he? I mean, you know, she knows no one's in charge. Or at that point, she thought no one was in charge because the Timekeepers were robots. But, so in that timeline, they acknowledged Kang was their sole leader. And is it a good Kang or a bad Kang? I don't know. But again, with Ant-Man and the Wasp, with 3, I believe it is, the third movie, Quantumania, they said Kang will appear in that. So, we'll find a new Kang. There's, of course, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness coming up, which is going to... I hear it's going to incorporate some aspects of the What If series, so that'll be interesting to see. And, of course, Wanda will be there, and I believe her, excuse me, her 2 kids are supposed to be in the movie as well. How that's going to work, I don't know. But... And, of course, the ending of Loki here does lend credence to the rumors and the speculation that we're going to be getting multiple Spider-Mens in the next movie, Spider-Man No Way Home. This sets up so much potential. You know what would have been nice, I'll just say, though? If Loki would have ended by finally releasing the No Way Home trailer. We want to see what's going on there. And you know the trailer has got to show some confirmed footage of the characters they want to keep under wraps, and they're trying so hard to keep under wraps. Anyway, this one, not as happy of an ending as I would have liked, but happier than I was expecting that we were going to get. You know, I honestly thought one of the Lokis, Loki or Sylvie, I thought they weren't going to make it through. Because, like, when Kid Loki says, you'll need this dagger for your journey, what journey? They walked like 10 feet down the hill to fight Goliath. And then he didn't really use the dagger that much, or the sword that much, in this episode. But he still has it, I believe. So maybe it'll come into play later on. Alright, I guess that's about it for myself. Let me know, folks, what did you think of the episode down below? What were some of your favorite moments? And most importantly, what do you think could possibly come next? I'm expecting an evil Kang to start conquering. Okay, before I sign off, though, I will say that leads to the... like I said, why would Kang want to rule, then sit back? So this version of Kang not necessarily wanted to rule. He... honestly, he was pretty heroic about what he did. He wanted to keep all the people safe and alive in his timeline by preventing others of himself from springing forth from a branch. Seems like pretty extreme measures to go to keep one person in an entire universe from occurring, but it makes sense. He wanted to make sure he was the only Kang, because other Kangs are the ones that will try to conquer. So yeah, we're going to be seeing a conquering Kang coming up. Probably the premiere of him will be in Quantumania, the next Ant-Man movie. So I feel like these series were timed perfectly, because here we had, you know, WandaVision, Falcon and Winter Soldier, Loki, and there's more to come as well. Just with the whole pandemic and lockdown, we're getting all this stuff that's setting up things that as soon as we can go back to movies, and I think that's actually rolling out in some parts of the world, we're going to be wanting to go back to the theaters and seeing what happens next on the big screen. I definitely want to myself. When Spider-Man comes out, you know, Ant-Man, I've never been that keen on. Like, I've seen the movie, I've seen the first Ant-Man. I haven't seen the second one, but I figure, you know, as a character in an ensemble group, cool. But would I want to go see a whole movie of just him? Now I definitely do, because I guess it's not just him. I want to see what happens with Kang. But still, it's like that is a drive to get you back to the movie. Even if you don't really like Spider-Man, but knowing that there's going to be multiverse stuff in the next... well, not knowing for sure, but assuming there's going to be multiverse in the next live-action Spider-Man movie, you're going to want to go see that. They did good. All the stuff we see at home is now connecting with the movie stuff. So... very cool. And as we, again, get back to going to movie theaters when it's more safe out there, we'll be getting just the experience that we want. Alright, I guess that's it. So, as I said, I'm kind of glad Casey wasn't that important later on, because with only 2 brief appearances in the first 2 episodes, it would feel kind of cheap to then pull him out of a hat and say, so he's been the villain all along, he just wasn't talking. Anyways... I'm going to finally say that's about it. We're going to end it right there. Again, let me know in the comments, what did you think? What do you think will happen? Favorite moments here in this episode? I guess that's that. Alright, thank you folks for watching, and again, if you want to see the full episode, link down in the description to the Disney Plus page for Loki. Go there. If you don't have a subscription yet, get yourself a subscription yet. Watch the entire series. It's not even 6 hours long. 6 episodes, less than an hour a piece, minus about 50% of that time for credits, and you can get caught up on all the Loki action. So, also, one last thing. What did you think of the kiss? Did that freak anyone out? Did that creep anyone out? I've become totally okay with it. I want to see them together. Now they're apart. But for that, on that, for the time being, Professor Chaz is signing off. Thank you folks for watching my reaction to Loki. And if you want to see more reactions in the future, let me know. With What If coming out in August, I could start doing reactions for those. I'm not as keen on that because, again, I like the main timeline. And the What If things feel like they'd be like, one-offs. Although... apparently they are going to connect. I think, I keep saying I'm going to sign off and I don't. But I think Benedict Cumberbatch did say something about the What If series will be affecting the main MCU in the future. Or maybe it was Tom Hiddleston who had said that. But someone, I believe, said that. Anyway, Professor Chaz is signing off. Thank you folks again for watching and listening to my rambling. And I'll catch you next timeline.